Lamar Jackson, man. So as we all know right now, the MVP award is still up in the air, despite how who we feel think should win that MVP award. So this year for Lamar Jackson, man, is it Super Bowl or bust for Lamar Jackson this year?
I'll go first because I'm seen as the Lamar Jackson hater, but really,
You are the hater. Come on,
I'm
man.
just,
Don't do that.
I'm
I'm
being
seen
real.
as a Lamar Jackson hater. You call him a running back, bro.
Look,
Right.
look,
He had
it,
MVP and this man still was calling him a running.
look, because it's all about the postseason, right? So, at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson. And by the way, I really like Lamar Jackson as a person, though. I've watched some of his interviews. He's a really good kid, believes in God and all that. I really like him. He doesn't get in trouble. He's great. I just think he's inconsistent throwing the ball in the big moments. So here's his playoff record is 2-4, and he's got 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 6 games. So not great. And we got to be real. He's been the number 1 seed twice. So home field advantage. He's lost as a favorite. He has a Super Bowl winning head coach. One of those runs, their defense was number 1 in the league. Last year, they said the offense is on fire. Now they add Derrick Henry. It's like, what more do you want around you? You know, you got Derrick Henry. You got Mark Andrews, who had 11 touchdowns himself. Zay Flowers is a good player. They've got a good defense. They've got, like I said, a Super Bowl winning head coach. So it is Super Bowl or bust. And look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's not good that they're playing Pittsburgh. And I understand that Pittsburgh's lost 4 straight, but they're a divisional opponent. And those games are just too tricky. I saw the line was 10. The bet of the weekend is take Pittsburgh plus 10 because I think this is going to be a close divisional game. They split earlier this year. He's also a 2-time MVP, and he might win it a 3rd time. That's another reason this is Super Bowl or bust. So we just got to keep it real. The difference between between Lamar Jackson, for example, Josh Allen in the postseason, is Josh Allen balls out even in losses, right? Like he had Mahomes on the ropes with 13 seconds left. The defense couldn't hold up 13 seconds. Why don't we criticize Burrow? Well, because he beat Mahomes. He got to the Super Bowl. That's what Lamar has to do. It is Super Bowl or bust. Maybe it's not fair, but that's the way it was for Peyton Manning. I remember Peyton Manning got ridiculed before winning that first one. So he even got ridiculed after winning because his playoff record was always average. I think he ended 14-14, 14-13, something like that. So look, I like Lamar Jackson, the person. I just don't trust him throwing the ball in a close playoff game. And we're about to see it is Super Bowl or bust. He's going to get really, really criticized if he doesn't win. At least get to the AFC title game and lose to Mahomes. Then it's, all right, it's Mahomes. But I think it's bad when you've been the number 1 seed twice, the MVP twice, and your record's 2-4, and your stats are average at best in the playoffs.
All right, let me go. It's haters like that. That's the reason why I'm going to say yes, it's Super Bowl or bust. Not because it should be, but because that's the type of person right over there that's going to be bringing him down if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl. It's not an indictment on him as a quarterback. It takes more than just him. Now, he does have a good team around him, but let me ask you this. Who's the best wide receiver that's been there since Lamar Jackson's been in Baltimore?
I would say really their number 1 target's been Mark Andrews, the tight end.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Who's been the best wide receiver?
I guess it has to be Zay Flowers because he's a Pro Bowler and he's over 1,000 yards.
He shouldn't have. Well, we'll talk about that maybe another time. Brian Thomas
Yeah.
should have been a Pro Bowler, but we're not going to argue about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, I don't know how he didn't make the Pro Bowl. That's beyond me. That's crazy.
I would say Hollywood Brown was. I would say Hollywood Brown was the best receiver that he had. And that's saying a lot that we're debating on his best receiver being Hollywood Brown or Zay Flowers. Yes, his numbers have been sort of pedestrian in the playoffs, but he's also been pretty much all they've had in the playoffs. Andrews was injured last year in the playoffs, correct?
He came back in the AFC title game when they lost.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like now he has Mark Andrews healthy, he has Derrick Henry, and he's got Zay Flowers. Like and now it's like, all right, like at least if you lose, ball out.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think that he can't have like a first round exit. Like he can't lose to Pittsburgh.
Right.
I can't
I
defend
agree.
Pittsburgh this year.
That would be a huge failure.
Yeah, he loses to Pittsburgh this year after winning the MVP because he's gonna win the MVP. If he doesn't, it's a travesty of justice.
You don't think they're gonna get a co-MVP in that? I was gonna ask that when it was my turn.
I personally think they're gonna give it to Josh Allen because he's the higher seed. Like last year, a lot of people could have made the argument Dak Prescott has better numbers than Lamar, which he did. But Lamar had the better record, so they went, I think, with Lamar because of that. So I really think Josh Allen's going to win it. I really do. If there was co-MVPs, I'd actually be okay with that because I think they're both well-deserved.
I could see a co-MVP. I would be okay with a co-MVP. Who was that? Peyton Manning and Aaron McNair. They had co-MVPs. I think this is the perfect example of needing a co-MVP this year.
And Saquon would have needed the record to be in there, I think.
Yeah, man. They dropped the ball on that one for real. But no. Back to my point though. I think coming off of an MVP, because even if he's a co-MVP, he's an MVP. Losing in the first round, that would bring him down a peg. He would probably drop out of a lot of people's top 5 quarterbacks if he loses in the first round. Not mine, but I think a lot of people would drop him out of the top 5 quarterback list if he loses in the first round because you just can't do that. I think it's AFC title game or bust for him. I could see him losing, like you said, losing to a Mahomes in the title game because I didn't look at the bracket. Do they have to play them?
No, they'd have to go to Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and then Kansas City. That's insane.
If they don't have to go to Pittsburgh. They're hosting.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they have to play Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and then Kansas City.
Now, if he runs that gauntlet and gets to the Super Bowl, I think he passes Mahomes, his best quarterback in the league. Just being real, if he runs that gauntlet, he runs through all of them.
Still, Detroit probably at the end are one of the teams in the NFC that's good. We know they have a lot of good teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I think that he does, and if say he beats a Detroit in the Super Bowl, I do think that he takes over Mahomes. Mahomes now, not what Mahomes has been. He takes over.
Just talking about moving forward.
Yeah, I think he moves into first place, best quarterback in the league. So it's almost there is a win in this form. If he performs, he gets to be the best quarterback in football. But if he loses first round, he gets to drop to be like number 7, 8, or something in some people's eyes. So it's a win in this form and it's a loss in this form.
Okay, so when y'all say Super Bowl bust, y'all talking about just getting to the Super Bowl, or y'all talking about he has to win the Super Bowl? I'm just trying to get clarification.
Getting to the Super Bowl.
For me, if he gets to the Super Bowl, I'm good with it. I'm good with it because that means he would have probably gone through Josh Allen and Mahomes just to get there.
Okay, so another question I have is, what if he does like Josh Allen and balls out and gets to the AFC Championship game, throws 4 touchdowns and loses to Patrick Mahomes, who may throw 5 touchdowns?
Then I don't have really criticism. Then it's like, all right, you did your part. It's really he just hasn't done his part in these playoffs.
Right.
Like 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 6 games. Like that's for MVP standards, that's average at best.
I'm looking at Lamar and I know I'm gonna make the reference to basketball. But Dirk Nowitzki for a long time, bro. He would be the number 1 seed, win the MVP, and he just couldn't get over the hump. And then when he finally got over the hump, people finally started giving him his recognition as, being the best foreigner forever, whatnot. I'm looking at Lamar and I'm kind of looking at Dirk's situation and saying, okay, look at Dirk and say to yourself, I gotta get over this hump. Not even for like us, for himself. Because I agree with C. I think if he does beat Josh Allen, well, first let's start with Russell Wilson's division in his division in Baltimore versus the Pittsburgh Steelers and knocks them off, then turns around, beats Josh Allen, turns around, beats Patrick Mahomes, and then beats the Lions. Dog, we have to say today. I'm not saying career wise. Today, you have to put him number one. Um, for him, it has to be Super Bowl bust. It's not about us no more. It's about what else can he accomplish? What else? Is he gonna be okay with getting to the AFC Championship game? That shouldn't be okay with me if I'm Lamar Jackson. I'm looking from his perspective. I'm not trying to be in the AFC Championship game. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, and I know everybody's trying to win a Super Bowl, but Lamar Jackson to me, to really stamp his name in NFL history, he has to get to the Super Bowl and gotta win it. And this is the perfect time. He got Derrick Henry. He got Derrick Henry behind him. So I'm gonna say yes, it's Super Bowl bust for him. But it's unfortunate he's just that great. That's why it's Super Bowl bust for him.
Um,
I think he's a little bit more locked in this year too. They had a clip early in the season. Who was that? Marlon Humphreys. Doing like he was doing like the Instagram live or something. And
Yeah, I think it was Humphrey, but Humphrey's actually had a good year ever since.
yeah. Because he checked him. He said, "Hey man, you need to be worried about the game, man. Put that up, bro. Put that phone up." Because he was playing too much, and I think, and I thought that showed a lot of growth in Lamar Jackson. Because I don't think that he had the. I don't want to use the word courage. I just don't think that he had it in him to tell somebody something like that previous to this year. He's focused this year, and he don't care.
And see, like I said, going back to basketball, it gets to a point where we don't want to see what James Harden's going to do as far as regular season. We don't want to see what Chris Paul's going to do regular season. Carmelo
Mhm.
Anthony, he falls in that realm. Like you don't want to. I don't care about that no more. You want to be amongst the greats. You want to be mentioned with the Tom Brady's, the Patrick Mahomeses of the world, and all the championship quarterbacks, even the Peyton Mannings. You got to go out there and win it. So for his legacy, it's Super Bowl bust.
yeah, I think the way Lamar views himself, because he views himself as he's the best quarterback in the league. Like he said, "Yo, Mahomes who, Burrow who? I'm the best. I'm that guy." Um, I think for me, he has exceeded expectations because he came out the draft. Was he like a 32nd overall pick?
Last pick of the
Uh,
round.
yeah,
The
32nd
Saints,
over
what we
pick.
doing, man?
There was no expectations for Lamar Jackson when he got selected as a 32nd overall pick. He was back for a minute for Joe Flacco until he got called in, and then boom, we're at where we at now. People question him if he could actually throw the ball. This year he threw the ball, and he basically had his best career statistically as a passer, not a runner, a passer. He actually ran less this year. Um, and then on top of that, people say he can't throw the ball. He runs the ball too much, and he's won MVPs. He's made it to the playoffs. He's basically the face of the franchise. Nobody expected Lamar Jackson to be the face of the franchise, but I think for him and the player that he's become, and the way the media looks at it right now, where it is Super Bowl bust now. And I think for me, I don't think it's a Super Bowl or bust. But for Lamar Jackson, I think it is a Super Bowl or bust for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like LeBron. LeBron had to win. LeBron was great until he won that championship. That's what really solidified him. At the end of the day, it's time for Lamar Jackson to solidify himself amongst the greats. That's all I think as far as when I
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
Lamar
and
Jackson.
and we've always questioned Lamar about this postseason meltdowns. It'll make people like Yvonne shut up and won't say nothing when Lamar shows up in the postseason and actually does good, and he's gonna have to do that in the postseason, or else we're gonna be he's gonna be remembered as a regular season quarterback. So I think I don't think it's Super Bowl as bust, but as far as for Lamar Jackson, it is Super Bowl or bust for him.
He'll do the Steve Young monkey off my back thing if he wins the Super Bowl. I can see that. He should. Somebody should tell him about that before the game.